With the absence of President Dorhofer tonight, I nominate Commissioner Kessler to be the pro tem chair for the evening.
We need a second.
Second.
Take a roll on that, please.
Commissioner Mullin?
Yes.
Commissioner Blue?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
President Dorhofer?
Okay.
So now we need to call the meeting to order, and could we have a roll call?
Commissioner Blue?
Present.
Commissioner Robbins?
Here.
Commissioner Kessler?
Here.
Commissioner Mullin?
Here.
President Dorhofer?
So rise for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. These are going to be the minutes of the special board meeting February 23rd, 2017, minutes of the regular board meeting February 23rd, 2017, minutes of the closed session February 23rd, 2017, and payables Les Granger and payable through March 23rd, 2017 in the amount of $1,057,061.88. Could I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Mullin?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Blue?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes. So here we would ask for any visitors to come up, make a statement, but no one is here in our brand-new facility tonight, which is very exciting. So I encourage everyone to come out and to our meeting and see our beautiful boardroom. So we're going to skip the financial report right now, correct? Or are we ready?
You could either approve everything but the bank statement, or, well, and you don't.
We'll just wait.
So-
We'll do it at the end.
Let's just, she's trying to get figures concrete from Les Bruce, who did the document. If we don't get them, you know, if the board's desire is, you can just table the items, you know, the financials till the April meeting, and we'll just have to approve both of them at that time.
Is there anything?
You're talking about a difference right now of
$350
on a total of, what's the total amount for?
Over $1 million. $1.7 million.
So,
I mean,
there's
do you need it so
somewhere
you
within
can?
there.
Does it hold up anything by us
No,
delaying
not
it?
the payables, it's separate from that, so it's just, you know, just making sure that the reconciliation is accurate. And so,
All right.
I would advise if you know, we'll table it till the end of the meeting. If we don't have an answer, then we'll bring the corrected document back. We'll get that to you for sure by tomorrow for review, and then we'll put it on the agenda for the April meeting.
Okay then.
Fair enough?
I agree. Any objections or any comments? Okay.
Thank you.
We'll start with the reports and communications, beginning with Executive Director Jeff Fruger.
Probably good that you have that block in there, Stuart. Well, here we are in our first meeting as our President Pro Temp Kessler just reported. So for the general public, our meetings are here at 635 North Aspen in the future, always the last Thursday of the month at 6:30. Our office location, everybody's in, everything. Lashin is cleaned out. We just have a few, like our statues that are in the lobby that we're going to move over to Kids Castle Park. The park sign, the redwood sign that's out in front of Lashin that says administrative office is a nice informational sign. Park staff is going to relocate that out here in front of Sullivan along the drive. You know, per the report, we're still working on FAC, our pool filtration renovation. That project's going very well, on time. James and his facility staff are, working with the contractor to make sure that that's completed by no later than around a month from now, later part of April, so that we can fire up everything by the 1st of May and work out any kinks before we open. A reminder about just our budget for the 30-day approval on our resolution this evening. The IGA that the board's been working with, both in tandem with myself and council, that was turned over to Hawthorne School District 73 Council and Superintendent Nick Brown earlier this week. I fully expect that they're going to have some type of special meeting over the next couple of weeks to address that document and report back to us. So if I get some information prior to that, certainly I'll pass that on to the board. I just want to thank everybody for the quick turnaround. I know it was a pretty lengthy document, and we had some times on the second review and I think a lot of good information that came back from the park board in terms of consensus of what we want to deliver to the school district, and what we feel is a very fair agreement. Reminder to not only the board but our general public that we have our open house for Sullivan Center on Saturday, April 8th. That'll start at 11 a.m. It'll immediately follow our annual Hopping. Open gym all day at free of charge, so bring your families out for that. I'm going to let James talk a little bit about our first Earth Day event that he's coordinating. We got the Loop the Lakes walk taking place, or kite fly. And one of the things that you see before you in your packet is our leadership team, mainly Amy, put most of the work together in providing an organizational chart update. It's more of a compliance issue for our accreditation process that we wanted to address that and provide that for the board. That's all I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Next up, Finance and HR Superintendent Marla DeSico.
Evening. So the Treasurer's Office conducted their annual tax lien sale to collect delinquent taxes, and we got a whopping $11. But it was better than nothing. I'm sorry to say that Katrina Weiland will be leaving us. Her last day with the district will be March 31st, and we just want to commend Katrina on the outstanding job she did with the HAP program. She really took it from 0 to 100 in 2 years, and parents, administrators, staff couldn't be happier with the job she did, so we big thank you to Katrina. On the plus side, we're happy to announce that Anna Swain, who has been directly working under Katrina as our site supervisor, has been promoted to replace Katrina, so the continuity at HAP will be very much intact, because someone who's been there once again from day one will be taking over Katrina's position. So welcome, Anna. And then another internal promotion, we're pleased to announce that Angela Tossman, who had been working for our child care on a part-time basis, has been promoted to full-time when Celia Prudence left us. Angela had worked at Children's House of Libertyville and the Lake County Family YMCA in the past, and she has a degree in early childhood. And all of the district's W-2s and 1095s were distributed both to staff and to the appropriate government agencies. Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, Recreation Superintendent Tom Ritter.
Good evening. I feel like I have to pull up a microphone. I'm so used to it over the years. But, a couple updates on some program. Let me preface that way. The first by saying that we are in the process of hiring our summer staff, seasonal staff, so anyone looking for summer work. We are in need of day camp counselors and assistant counselors, and the Family Aquatic Center needs lifeguards. So anyone interested in summer work, so please go to Park District's website and apply. Adult softball leagues, we're getting ready for our annual start on May 8th. I just want everyone to know the deadline to register a team is April 23rd. Packets are available here at the Sullivan Center if anyone wants to pick them up. And our Loop the Lakes 5K run and walk is scheduled for Saturday, April 29th at 9 o'clock at Century Park. We're in the process of certifying the course for the first time, and it's going to have a different start and stop point. It's going to be anchored out of Century Park North instead of at the boat dock location. So we're looking forward to the change. Registration can be done one of three ways online: at the Park District's website, at active.com, or at raceentry.com, but you could always stop by one of our facilities to register. Immediately following that is our annual family kite fly that requires no registrations. So the only fees involved with that is if you needed to purchase a kite. Kites are $6 and they can be purchased on site. But I would encourage you to call Jack Shearer here at the Sullivan Center to reserve a kite so we can order them in advance, because last year we ran out, there was such demand. So that is at 11 o'clock on the 29th of April, and that is at the Island Shelter here at boat docks. Garden plots, our community garden plot program. This will probably be broadcast a little too late, but tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, the 24th, is the deadline to get in the lottery requesting a garden plot at one of our 3 locations. We have 60 garden plots spread out at Century Park North, next to our park maintenance facility on Indianwood Road. There are 36 plots there. There are 15 at the boat dock shelter, and there's 9 at Hartman Park. So if those that have applied, we'll be hearing next week of the 27th, from Jack, whether they received a plot from the lottery. If there are any open plots available, residents or non-residents at that point can come in the week of April 3rd to request on a first-come, first-served basis. This one's down the road, but I want residents to know to put aside their electronics, save them up for Saturday, May 20th. We will be having our Recycle-A-Rama at the Hawthorne Mall Sears parking lot. It'll be held from 9 a.m. to noon, and this is a partnership of the Village, the Park District, Vernon Township, Swelco, State Representative Carol Sente, and the mall itself for letting us use their facility, which is very nice of them. Carol Sente's contribution is bringing out the paper shredding. Just want to encourage people to only bring 2 Baker boxes. There's only limited space in there. I'd like everyone to have an opportunity to shred their materials. So there's a limit of 2 boxes. Otherwise, the collection is electronics. Anything with a plug, as they say, needs to be recycled. The only thing that involves a fee is the addition of latex paint this year. There will be a station to collect latex paint, and it's $1 for every quart, $3 for every gallon, and $10 for every 5 gallons. And it's based on the container, not the amount. So if you bring a 5-gallon pail and it's only got a gallon in there, it's still going to probably be the 5-gallon fee.
That'd be correct.
Keep that in mind. They accept cash or credit for that. New program we just started. It started with a suggestion of one of our active adults. I think they were in like a senior fitness class here at the Sullivan Center. Several of them were interested in pickleball. A lot of people know pickleball, and a lot of people say, pickle what? They have no idea what pickleball is, but it's a large version of table tennis, or a small version of tennis is one simple way to describe it, but it's pretty simple to play in the fundamental way, and it's a lot of fun. I was in there on Monday with some staff. A very, very fun activity. It's being held on Mondays and Wednesdays now in the Sullivan Center gym from 1 to 3 o'clock. It is daytime, I realize. So it's more conducive to people who can schedule their own time or are retired. But if this continues to do well, we'll try and create a weeknight as well in one of our 2, in the gymnasium here at the Sullivan Center. But we had about a dozen people both Monday and Wednesday, and it was some new people both days, and they definitely all said they're coming back. I want to thank some, they call themselves ambassadors from the U.S., I'll just say the U.S. Pickleball Association. There's a couple of ambassadors of the sport in Buffalo Grove who came out each day to help teach people the rules, some of the etiquette of the game, strategy, and people really appreciated that. So they won't be there forever. They're just there to help everybody get acclimated. It's $5, it's drop-in, and we hope people come out and play. We have paddles and balls available for free loan.
Makes a pickleball expert.
And finally, I'll have more details on this soon. We're still strategizing a little bit, but we are excited to be announcing a new lightning detection system here in Vernon Hills. We've had ThorGuard. The village owns ThorGuard, which is a lightning prediction system. They use it at their golf course and the athletic complex. They will continue to use it for now at their golf course. But we're working on a lightning detection system from a company called Earth Networks. Some people know WeatherBug. It's an app you can get on your phone to check weather. But this involves basically coaches, staff. When lightning is detected within an identified range, actual lightning strikes, you're given an alert, a warning to clear. And just like ThorGuard, after it's cleared, after 30 minutes you get an all clear. But it's something that's pushed to your email or text. So coaches and staff can be all notified immediately. And so I'm in the process of reaching out to our affiliates. The village has mentioned, we have the police and both fire departments, both Countryside and Lincolnshire. What's the name of the one in Lincolnshire? Not Countryside, but
Riverwoods?
is it Riverwoods? Yeah, I didn't get. I think it's Riverwoods. They'd like to be receiving these alerts as well. So we're working on those details now. It should take effect sometime in April. I put April 1st here, but it's not going to be quite April 1st. But basically for this spring sports season, it'll take effect. And once we go all in on this and announce it, we'll just deactivate ThorGuard at VHEC so people aren't getting mixed messages from two different systems. Again, the main difference, just to clarify, one was predicting based on weather conditions, and one is truly following just lightning strikes as they approach. So they're both good systems, have different benefits and drawbacks. So we're looking forward to
And I
that
think,
change.
Tom, just that you have both Vernon Hills and Stevenson High Schools supporting the
Yes, thank you. We drove the initial idea to do this. We wanted to hit some of our parks that maybe be out of range, such as Grosse Pointe. And when we discussed this with village staff, high school staff at both Stevenson and Vernon Hills, they're all contributing to this investment with us. It's a partnership. We all think it's a good system. So we'll see how it goes. I have full confidence that it's going to work.
They currently use the system in NASA, I think, uses it.
Yeah, NASA, the National Weather Service, the National Oceanic, and NOAA, I forgot what it stands for. I think the NFL's involved, the Air Force. It's a highly respected organization that has this service, so I'm looking forward to working with them. The Stevenson High School does have a variation of this. They actually, I believe, have some hardware at the football field, cameras and things of that nature, but it was determined in their best interest in this particular case for the athletic complex for them to just join us and contribute so that they're getting the same message at that location, not using their system to check weather at that location. So we're getting real close.
It's $1,500.
Unless there's any other questions, that's my report.
Now, on the lightning detection or whatever system, who owns that?
Who owns it? Well,
Yeah.
what we're purchasing basically is access to software and an account, and we log in emails. We log in email addresses, so when the alert strikes, it's sent to these emails, which gets pushed out to everybody. So it's not, there's no hardware involved. ThorGuard is a system with software and polls, and you can get that from Earth Networks. But what we're purchasing is called Streamer RT. I don't know what that refers to necessarily, but that program, that software is just, it's an app basically, one way to look at it for people.
So if we don't have somebody's email address or whatever, then they would not get notified, is that right?
Correct. It will be,
So-
so the village will give us a list of people that are going to receive it. The high school has a list. We'll have a list. Getting a little bit into the detail, but the short version of it is, if I get one email address from each of these organizations and it's sent to them, they can push it to a distribution. They can manage their own list of coaches and staff. I don't have to manage hundreds of names. I'll have, say, 8 from different organizations, and they'll send it to their staff.
Is there a limit to how many emails you can distribute?
They told me there was, but this new rep I have said he thinks it's endless. The short answer that they give you is, you can set 20 locations in town. I don't want 20 locations, they're all so close together. We're setting one central location, and we're gonna set an 11-mile radius. Normally, they say it's about 10, but since we're broadening it from one location, we're gonna make it 11 miles just to pad it. And they say you can have up to 50 emails. But again, you can have a distribution list. So if each of you has 20 people, to me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it's gonna go to 200 people. You know, so there's really no issues with that limitation.
Because if someone is coaching for one season and that you have their email and then new people come in, they're still gonna be in that system. And
So-
residents actually may wanna have that, and is that even something we can even offer? Because say someone's out on a golf course or somebody is in our parks just doing something, can we, no, okay.
It's a good I raised the question. It's a
Okay.
good question, but that would require the investment of having horns and sirens throughout town.
No, I meant, could
Because-
people put their email on that list to get notified up by their phone?
There's only up to 3 administrators. It'll probably be me, someone from the village and the high school. So what's gonna happen is, we're gonna put the responsibility on each, I'll just call it organization. Say the fire department says, we have 7 people that we wanna get this. I will send it to one fire department email. They will push that to the people they
I
want. They
see.
can manage
I
their own
see.
list.
Okay.
Because you're right, coaches change all the time.
So,
They
for
change.
example,
I see.
affiliate, we'll send it to Kevin Atkinson as the president of the soccer club. It's his responsibility or his role then to disseminate it to who he wants to within his organization.
So then there could be a delay between, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna
No,
raise
good
the
question.
concern, if Kevin's phone power went down or didn't get the message, how would all those coaches know without
So
hearing
you
that?
would- So Kevin would, at the same time it's going to Kevin, Tom could send it to 4 other people on their leadership team, on their board. And they would
Okay.
all have the ability then to disseminate to all the coaches or volunteers. But, you know, here's one, it's more of a common sense 2 questions, Cindy. Like if you're walking through Grosse Pointe, there's nothing there now. So it's more of a common sense. If you see bad weather or you see lightning, what are you gonna do? You know, you're gonna take precaution and hopefully get somewhere safe. This just gives you that extra kind of
Ahead of
added
time. Okay.
security that,
The insights
hey,
and stuff.
you need to get out of there because there's lightning coming by quick. This whole thing started with a resident from Grosse Pointe that called me, and he's a Stingers coach. And there was some kind of thing last year, some tournament, and we don't have any kind of system activated out at Grosse Pointe, and we have a lot of activity. So it started me thinking, what's going on? I pushed it to Tom, and there are a lot of park districts and golf courses now that are getting into this for golf course people still too, because when you're playing golf, you don't really have your phone accessible, so you want that alarm. And that's why I think the village is still gonna keep Thorgard at the Muni, because they wanna be able to shoot that horn off and let people know. But we're finding with Thorgard more and more is the users, and they're still good, but something will get activated that's 25 miles away, and it's you know, there's not a cloud in the sky and it's sunny, and you gotta clear the field, and then you're waiting 30 minutes. Where this is really pinpoint accurate, that there is lightning within 10 miles of you, and you need to move. So, other questions on,
No?
yeah, I mean,
Just so you know, the Forest Preserve, we dump Thorgard.
so what are you using?
Right now, nothing.
On your
We'll
golf
probably be
courses?
looking, no, golf courses. PGA of America right now isn't, they dumped Thorgard.
The only thing, Jim, I'm going, it goes to, you know, if your golf superintendents get receive this text, how do they get that to, you know, your 100 golfers out on the course if they don't?
We kept all the horns.
So they can look at the app and then they can just activate a horn?
In the clubhouse, we push the
Fair
button now.
Okay, fair enough,
And
okay.
like, for instance, Independence Grove, we have weather radios all over the place. So we get weather alerts, we got foghorns, they hit them. So we had
Maybe
the
that's
same
something.
issue, there were too many false alarms.
Can I make one I mean, and I don't
Sure.
know how, if it's too difficult administratively, then it's different, but the fact that you're gonna put it in one spot, as a former coach and whatever, knowing how sometimes a mile or two can make a big difference. You know, if you're on the south side of town and the lightning strikes 13 miles away, but the center of yours is 2 miles away, it still goes off even though there's no lightning within 13 miles, that you at least put a few locations in, I don't know. But again, I don't know how you administer that, because then when you're sending them out, you might have a problem with who's at what park, so.
They basically said to us that most agencies set a 10-mile radius. They said Florida tends to do like 6 because they just have so much lightning. But the fact that we're using a little broader range, we looked at the GIS with Will Rockwell of the Village, and he was agreeing with what the rest of us were talking about, that if we just make that one additional mile, it should cover the difference. Because, you know, Grosse Pointe is, I'm making a mile from VHAC, and VHAC's a mile from the pool, so they were comfortable with that. And if we're not, we can change it to anything. We could make it 12 or 15 or 5, but.
No, I was looking at it from the other direction.
The other
You
direction,
know,
right.
having to deal with Thorgard when I was a coach, it's a pain in the butt, because there wouldn't be a cloud in the sky sometimes and it would go off because there was who knows
shouldn't
what.
happen with this
25
system.
miles.
No, I understand that, but
Most
my
of them
point
are.
is if something's 13 miles away, it might never get within 10 miles, but if you're setting it at 13 or 11, it might
Right.
still go off, and so, like I said, and on a weekend, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you got
Oh, yeah.
7
Right.
fields and a couple hundred people, adults, children, whatever, and now you gotta evacuate all of them, wait how long and come back, a mile or two might make a difference as far as whether it goes off or not.
True.
Now, I don't know,
Keep
is
an eye on
that
that.
safer?
Yeah.
You know, obviously there's.
2
What?
miles.
Tom, do
So,
we,
anyway.
Just run fast.
do
Yeah.
we have to get permission from our insurance carrier as to what we're installing, that it's okay with them and it's all good? I
Well,
mean,
there's no hardware, we're not installing any hardware. It's simply an app on your phone, so, no.
Bruce, it uses something similar to this. I just showed these guys. This is literally right now, lightning strikes that are occurring out west of us. So I'm sure it's the same thing. It collects the data, and if it's within a certain radius,
It pings
it
you.
knows that this area's
At risk.
been
Yeah.
at risk,
Or
right?
it's approaching, as he
That's a
said.
good.
I mean, the information's out there for free. It's a matter of getting the administrative network together to send emails out that you're really paying for.
And just to clarify one final thing, Cindy had mentioned, you know, as an example, if Kevin's email was down, I'm kind of encouraging most of these affiliates to create like a free Gmail account or something, as opposed to their own. Because some people can figure this out quickly with IT, but you don't want to give them your email and then everything I get gets pushed to these people. Just create a free account that we call it lightning at vhills.org for all I care. So anytime the signal goes to lightning, then it can be disseminated. It's not connected to
That's
other
a
his
good-
phones.
yeah.
He doesn't have to tell a soul anything. We're just saying to that organization, create an email address that we can use, and then you create a distribution list connected to that email. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not.
But he still manually has to do it. It won't automatically be pushed. You can't
I
send
will
it to
put in the
him.
email to make sure the alert goes to whatever email he gives. One email he gives me, I will make sure in the administration that that email address is gonna get the alert. It would be on them to then
Right, they
put
still
that
need
list
to
together.
push it to the next.
Yes.
That can't be an automatic, you
Correct.
send and.
They should review
okay.
it every once in a while. Oh,
Yep.
season's over, someone changed their
No,
email.
that's not what
change
she's
it.
asking.
I'm-
She's asking, can you, and I think you can, but I'm not as techie as I used to be. I think you can basically set that when an email comes into that email account, it automatically gets broadcast, that nobody has to be sitting there looking at the email
No.
and then say, I want to forward this
Oh.
to 20 people.
Because
Correct.
say,
That's what
say,
she's asking.
yeah, say,
Automatic.
you know how when if you're gonna be out of the office, it automatically comes
Yep.
back and saying this person's out of the office?
Yep.
Can you have it
It's
automatically
like an
being
auto
set?
forward.
That's what it's gonna do.
It will forward.
As long as they set that up with, yes.
Without him.
That's not on
without,
us.
Right, wait, I just wanna make sure. So you're sending me the email saying there's a lightning strike. I'm not at
And
my
you're in
phone.
Hawaii.
I'm not on my phone, but it's automatically gonna go to my 20 people coaches without me even turning on my phone or
Yes.
acknowledging it. Oh, okay, that's
Because it's gonna.
Instead of
send an
auto
email,
reply, it's an auto forward.
forward. Okay, great.
Auto forward.
All right. All
And
right, that makes sense.
that's what's left before this is done, and then making sure everybody's in, and then, activating it. So we've
Okay.
got to make sure that's all in place, so.
I think we definitely talked about that.
Tom, I have one question going to the pickleball
Yeah.
thing. Are gym floors conducive for this?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a special floor, surface, or?
It's a little different when it's on hardwood as opposed to a tennis court.
Right.
The
Yeah.
ball, you slide a little more, the ball doesn't bite, but they play it
Still
as
okay.
often indoor. I've seen it. It's at Center Club in Libertyville's had pickleball nets and equipment for probably 15 years. It's only been in the last couple of years that pickleball's really taken off. Having my old racquetball friends and still on Facebook, a couple of my friends are very, very much ambassadors, like down in Florida where they've retired and whatever. It's probably one of the faster growing sports right
They
now.
had a tournament recently in Florida, I can't remember which town it was in, but they said there was, 150 courts and 800 teams. I mean, it's, in the South, it's very, very
It's
popular.
all the seniors that used to play racquetball are playing pickleball because it's a smaller court. You can play doubles easily.
It's very addictive.
It's
fun.
easier on your knees.
Right.
You're taking 1 or 2 steps. If you have a doubles partner, you're only taking 1 or 2 steps to hit the ball, no matter where it is on the court most of the time.
And now I'm learning, just by learning this sport myself, that outdoor is becoming extremely, the few towns around us that have outdoor
Go,
courts.
when
they
it gets
say
a little
there's
warmer,
waiting
Bruce,
list
go down to
play.
Buffalo Grove, right over where the Buddy Ball.
Yeah, Aptekissick and,
Yeah, Aptekissick and, what is that? No, it's Buffalo Grove Road, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah,
said they'll have
and it's
30 or
just,
40
it's
people
on the
ready to play.
southwest corner, behind their little park building. They've got, I think there's 2 courts back there.
2 courts.
And they're used all the time when it's warm.
Mhm.
I've gone there, Sarah and I have gone there, played a few
Hmm.
times. I mean, it's,
Something to think about in the future, outdoor
Yeah.
courts.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom, for
You're welcome.
the detail of that report. Going back to item number 5, the financial reports, we're going to table that for next meeting. So now continuing on with reports, Parks Superintendent James Kim.
Good evening. Just an update on our shelters. Peterson Park Shelter, Hawthorne Melody, and both geotech shelter restrooms were painted on the interior, and some minor improvements were made. We're looking at trying to open shelters the week of April 3rd. Lake County's gonna come out to turn on all the water for us, and we'll start putting fixtures back together, and there might be 1 or 2 shelters opening maybe as early as next weekend, next Friday, depending on not just the weather, but the conditions inside the shelters themselves. The Park District would like to thank the Action Credit Union for donating $3,000 towards Kids Castle. The donation went to purchase a shade structure at Kids Castle, which will be located over the stamped concrete bench area. It's going to be either an 8x8 or a 10x10 cantilever structure. We're hanging the middle benches with the 2 garbage cans or somewhere around there, and then we're going to try and flank them in the next year with 2 other shade structures. The restroom at Kids Castle is complete. Electrical's hooked up and water's hooked up. Lake County, that'll be the first one they're going to turn on for water for us. Hacienda is contracted to pour the sidewalk to the restroom as per their contract. They're going to schedule that as soon as the weather breaks. He says it could be in the next 2 weeks, which is nice. The electricity is coming from the pump station in Deer Path subdivision. So the contractor and I thought of about $500 per year worth of electrical use. So Lake County is going to turn around every April 1st and send us an invoice of $500. That was just based on average annual use of all the electrical components inside the building. Both of us didn't think it was going to be worth the $600 anyways. So we're getting that bill once a year. Burn permits was obtained through the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. This is not a prescribed burn, this is more of a general brush burn for Century Park over on the north end, close to the train tracks. We recently cleared about 8 to 9 acres of invasive species, and we cleared it. So instead of having a company come in, grind it for us for $9,000, we obtained the permit, plus us nothing, our man hours. We put out signs, we contacted fire, police, and village, and they were all okay with it, and we did not get 1 call or email or any inquiry. The weather was perfect, the smoke rose and fell down into the lake and dissipated, so only walkers really knew what was going on. We are looking to submit another permit for Sullivan Woods for the same project. We did obtain a pre-striped burn permit for right out here along Family Aquatic on Aspen. If you've noticed that we've cleared it to the lazy river. And they're gonna try and burn that, the island, and the fenced-in creek area where the slides are. And then Tall Grass is in charge of that. They're also contracted to put some natural or native plants back in, and they're contracted for the next 2 years to maintain the sites so that we continue not to have what we had before. Over at Sullivan Woods, the Village of Vernon Hills has agreed to fund up to $20,000 towards clearing the creeks that are running along the path. There's a lot of log jams, there's a lot of dams that have accumulated over the years, and although it is a wetland further south towards Sugar Creek subdivision, closer to Hawthorne Club subdivision, there's a good 1,000 feet where there's a lot of large brush that's backing up to the golf course right now. And that's not technically part of the wetland either. So the money's going towards starting from Hawthorne Club and moving south. We've contacted 4 vendors and we've asked them to give us a linear feet, whoever can provide the most linear feet along the creek, and see if we get the contract. The village is going to approve it at their April board meeting, but it's been budgeted for, and so in principle, they've agreed to it, knowing that we've also budgeted about $100,000 in the next 2 fiscal years to also do the same thing. For facilities, I want to just say thank you to Mike Anderson, our facility maintenance technician. He's been working for about 3 years. His last day is next Friday. I want to recognize his contributions, especially for this Sullivan Center renovation project. He painted
Pretty much the
pretty
whole
much
building.
everything that the contractor did not. So that would be anything that's not new. It was basically him in the last 2-3 months. It was a big help, and he did a very professional job. That's what his past life was. The position has been posted, and I have contacted myself or Dave Sweat, the facility foreman, for more information. Along those lines, I just want to thank all my staff for their continued efforts and support for the last couple months, and then just helping along where they have to. For our Earth Day event, it is April 21st from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. at our park maintenance shop. That is 1400 Indianwood Drive. And it's the sled hill. People know what that is. It's going to be filled with vendors for educational purposes and giveaways, just to, as part of education, so people understand conservation and sustainability and just environmental themes in general. Some of our sponsors are Jacobson Orthodontics. They're sponsoring an essay contest in which we're giving away a solar backpack. Star Auto Group is sponsoring our 4x12, 4 feet by 12 feet mural in the kids' contains. They will also be taking that to display in their office for a couple of weeks and then bring it back to Sullivan Center. By the Yard is giving us some in-kind giveaway donations with their name on them. We partnered with Swalco, Village of Vernon Hills, Lake County Public Works. They're going to donate several rain barrels and some compost bins for giveaways, which would be nice. And we have a couple other tables. There's a Lego table. There's a Play Tech, a local company that does a lot of Lego themes for kids as an activity. We have a Recycle Art Craft that Bonnie, one of our preschool teachers, is going to put on for us. We're trying to do a pollinator activity to give kids an idea of what pollinators are and how they affect our environment. There's going to be an arbor walk that Rick's going to provide. If the weather is nice, it continues, we're going to see some good buds and some flowers, so we can really identify some trees for some people. And for everyone who's attending, please ride your bike. There's going to be a small giveaway for everyone who rides their bike to our events, and M&M Recycler will be there to do some free bike trips for us as well. The day of Friday the 21st, Carol Sente, some of her volunteers, and Lifeline Vascular, which is on Hawthorne Parkway, next to Rust-Oleum. They're going to help clear some invasive species along Little Bear and Big Bear Lake. They're just partnering together to do an Earth Day event, and that's something they both kind of agreed on. That's going to go from approximately 1 to 3 p.m. And there's gonna be a volunteer list, and Carol Sante's gonna reach out to some people, and Lifeline Basketball is gonna probably bring out 10 to 12 people as well to help with that effort. And then also staff will be start laying fields, so soccer at the schools, foul lines for softball, and we'll be start working on ball fields shortly. And that concludes my report. If there's any questions?
Thank you very much. Next up, Marketing and Communication Manager Cheryl Berman. Bierman. Bierman. I'll get it next
Sorry.
time.
Good evening. In my report, I did put a chart of, if you recall, we've used the email marketing service Living Social for the past 5 years, to promote our FAC, our Family Aquatic Center passes. We decided after discussion, we've had such great luck with our social media advertising that we are going to take a pass on Living Social this year, not pay the marketing fees, and do some creative marketing for social media and other means. So we did our first marketing. We did a flash sale, which is a one-day sale, not advertised whatsoever until the day of on social media. It was March 17th. So instead of saving 10% on the FEC passes, which that's general for everybody up till April 30th, we did 17%. And we scheduled it to start going out at 6 in the morning. And throughout the day, we did a little bit of a boost. We did choose who to send it to. We wanted to make sure it hit Vernon Hills residents of the age that would purchase passes. And we sold over 200. Tom might have the regular number, but I 219 possibly. So that was a big success. So we want to do more of that, and that's just selling the passes a little bit early, maybe reaching more people that didn't purchase it. So that is ended. So now just today we started. This is just regular advertising, our 10% off, which we would do through Living Social, but we're using, again, Facebook and Instagram, and it's just, we can target, and it's free. Well, we did put a little bit of a boost on this. We're spending very minimal to really get out to the people, and everybody basically has Facebook. So that started today, and that's going to go through April 30th. So I don't know results of that, obviously, but we'll see how that goes, and we'll compare, from last year, how many season passes we actually sold before May 1st. So we're trying it. So far, so good. We're also doing another promotion. Is for Lakeview Fitness. They're doing a one-day April Fool's special of 20% off a membership. Seems like these one-day sales seem to do pretty good because people just don't have one day, they can't think about it. So, but for that one, we are advertising. It's advertised out here. I think today was the first day. We did target a market, and postcards are going out to these people to let them know, people who, of the age and the demographic that Lakeview, that Mark let us know who thinks who would purchase these passes. So that went out today. We'll see the results of that April 2nd. We have that one going. The new one that I didn't include, we just kind of met on it. Again, for Lakeview Fitness, was going to be another personal training special. 5 one-hour sessions for $199, going out April 23rd to the 29th. Again, that will be advertised prior. It's not a secret like the other one. And we'll just, again, targeting a market and to the general public, too. Members and non-members. For the first time, we worked with Robert for the Turtle Swim team, and we did a little promotion of the Turtle Swim team. We've been a little bit quiet on that. They wanted to attract more kids. Some of the older ones are now getting too old for it and cooling off. So we did some tryouts, and we put it through our school newsletter and such, and they did have 33 kids come and try out for the team. And not all the kids were good enough, but then they signed up for the upper level swim lessons so they could get good enough for the swim team. So we felt that was a success too. All the spring events that we've been talking about tonight, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I've scheduled a community newsletter to go out, and it does tell about all of our special events coming up in April. I don't know if you mentioned this, but Hop and Holiday Hunt, our Easter event, is sold out. So there's a waiting list, but it is sold out already, and that was on April 8th. And I believe that's all I have for the night. If there's any questions.
So just to follow up on, Robert is down in Orlando tonight, tomorrow we had one of our Emma Armada. Is she 12 years old, I think?
She's an 8th grader. She's
13.
She's 13.
And she made it to the Nationals in a 50
Wow.
free, so. But this thought of, our numbers have gone down a little bit in our turtle swim team over the last few years. We've been holding steady right about low to mid 80s. I think at peak we were about 110 a few years ago. So now having these tryouts and having 33 kids, that was a good sign. I'm not sure. So I think that's, certainly we hope that even if 20 of them that, come out for the team now, it helps with that program, so.
Very nice. Any other questions? I don't think there's any
No,
committee
nothing.
reports, okay. So going on to unfinished business, for the 2018 salary classification schedule. I need a motion to approve the 2017-2018 salary schedule.
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
I'll second it for discussion purposes, I guess.
Okay. Discussion?
Oh, I know we had some concerns at our meeting last month, and I just want to know if they were addressed. Normally I always thought that on something like this that the board sat down as a board to discuss these before the public meeting. I just have some concerns on, the ranges, if any of these ranges were increased due to people that maybe were at the top of the range last year, so that they could get an increase. I do have some concerns on this.
Well, we did have this for a week, or I think 5 days, 6, I'm trying to think when it came out.
So
We had it.
if I can answer. just-
Okay, go ahead.
So it's been a few years since we actually introduced in a closed session. It goes back to 2014 before we had that conversation with the board. So what I was asked to do from the last meeting was to provide a new set of comparables. I was given that directive from the board president, and the data that he asked me to present in that comparable, which I did. And that's what we provided. I was told to remove a few that were from his conversation with board members of certain populations that exceeded 50,000. We took all those out. We haven't updated this comp program in 6 years. 6 years ago, the district was literally, our budget was half of what it is now. Our staffing was half of what it is now. So we felt that we needed to present something that was more market, in terms of security, in terms of our staff. I can't respond to, the fact that, I gave the board a comparable that I felt based on our EAV, based on population, based on our budget, based on number of employees, based on number of facilities, all those were driving factors within the comparison. That's what I presented to the board. How the numbers come out in terms of classifications is, I don't control any of that. So in answer to that question, yes, some classifications went up. Yes, they did.
And that was because people were at the top of their salary?
6 years ago, Bruce.
Okay.
6 years ago, this document was provided to you, so those ranges are that old. So you have to take into account that, some of these comps with these other agencies are gonna advance.
I can add that only 3 employees were at the top of their range. And it wasn't done because people were at the top of the range, it's something that we do every year we just changed the people we're comparing to be a more accurate comparison, but we didn't do it because people were at the top. I mean, for the many years, you know, a number of employees have been capped, and they're just capped, which will continue to happen even under the new ranges.
So under these new ranges, we do have employees that are capped.
Yes.
Yes.
How do we have that?
And, well, because there's some positions, Jim, where the ranges didn't move.
I guess one of
Our
them-
supervisors,
I guess
some
so.
of our supervisors' ranges that didn't move, some of our foremen's ranges that didn't move.
Park maintenance, didn't we? Not every single one is on there also. That was like the foreman, supervisors, department heads.
Do we have some new classifications? We always had a rec supervisor 1 and a rec supervisor 2.
The
Is
rec,
that new?
yeah, the rec supervisor too, that was brought up last year. I brought that to you guys because we had a position in terms of J specifically that was taking on full-time staff. And that fell out of, and so like we do with also park maintenance where we have a 1 and a 2 scale based on certifications, based on tenure, based on staffing, if they're, you know, if they're supervising full-time staffing. So that range moved, I think, on part 2, I think it moved like to 65, it moved like about $5,000.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, could I get a roll call?
Commissioner Blue?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
Commissioner Meline?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution, or this is for new business, Resolution 3-17, authorizing display of the tentative fiscal year 2017-2018 Vernon Hills Park District budget and appropriation ordinance for public inspection. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Meline?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Blue?
Yes.
Can I just ask for the motion to approve the resolution? Or do I have to read the first part?
On the acres group?
Yeah.
No, you can just.
Just, okay, can I have a motion to approve the resolution 4-17 for the Acres Group contract?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Meline?
Yes.
Commissioner Blue?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Oh,
I'm sorry, yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Was there
You know,
discussion? I'm sorry,
I
I
just-
jumped ahead, I
yeah.
should have asked a discussion.
No, I just want to just see what we're approving here. We're approving something for $37,660. Is this an increase? What kind of increase is it for over the last contract that we approved? And is this the same group that's been doing it?
Yes, it's the same group, and yes, there's within the contract, we have the ability to extend it out every year, and
Mhm.
just renewing it, so we don't have to go back out. And we can legally do that if we're satisfied with the vendor.
Okay, because it looks like this is just a 6-month contract.
For acres?
Yeah, it's just for mowing.
It's just for mowing, so
Mhm.
they're April through like at end of September.
End of-
That's all it is, yeah.
And is this, what did they charge us last year?
You happen to know, James? We can get that for you.
I had it.
He's trying to find it on his phone.
There wasn't an increase above the CPI. That's part of the renewal contract. It's above, and we have to
Okay.
The CPI, well, is around 2%.
Mhm.
So that's the contract stipulation.
Cannot go higher
is it
than-
Cannot exceed CPI, otherwise we would go out for formal rebid on it. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll continue with the roll call?
Mr. Robbins.
Or,
Commissioner
We just have to
Robbins.
finish
Yes.
with him.
the next is the resolution 5.17, extension of the Balanced Environments contract. Could I get a motion to approve resolution 5-17?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Does this work the same way? Doesn't go higher than the CPI?
Yeah, they're extending it, Bruce. That's what the first part of the resolution is, and then the second is the actual contract.
Mm-hmm.
It says right in the first one, extend the landscaping contract.
I just want to make sure the increase isn't more than what they
CPI,
should be
that's
getting.
standard language in the agreement, yeah.
Okay,
Go along,
fine,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. Roll call?
Commissioner Meline.
Yes.
Commissioner Baloo.
Yep.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler.
Yes. Next is which one did I do? I just did the
D,
balance one?
5.
I'm on D.
6-17.
You gotta do
Okay,
6 and 7.
resolution 6-17, extension of the crystal maintenance contract. Could I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Are we happy with their service?
That's Lakeview.
I've heard no complaints.
Okay.
It's
It's always a challenge, I know this, for everybody, it's a challenge. So I
That,
just,
that contract stayed the same, right? The
There's no
rates, there was no increase that on that.
I'm more concerned about the quality of the service.
The only thing I've heard is the random comments about a locker, hair in the drains in the women's around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night.
Okay, I just, they have an improvement over the last company.
Yes, night and day.
Okay, very good.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Meline.
Yes.
Commissioner Baloo.
Yep.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler.
Yes. Next is the bus service award recommendation. Could I get a motion to approve a 3-year contract with Durham Bus Services?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Is this the same company we've had?
Yep, very pleased.
Okay. I just didn't know if there was a new player.
Nope.
Roll call?
Commissioner Meline.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Baloo.
Yep.
Commissioner Kessler.
Yes. The chain of authority, which is in our packet, the review. Could I get a motion to approve section 2.34, the succession plan of the district administrative manual? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Do we have like a secret employee who's in another building off-site, just in case it
Designated survivor.
Designated survivor. That's all.
I guess that wasn't serious, we don't need an
Plug in
answer on
for
that one.
For that show.
Only for the show.
I thought he was being serious.
So, I think it's a roll call.
Commissioner Baloo.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Meline.
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler.
Yes. Last is the W.W. Granger invoice. Can I get a motion to approve the W.W. Granger invoice in the amount of $1,389.72?
So moved.
Do I have a second? You're not gonna approve it? Or second, I need a second. Come on, Dave's not here, he needs a.
Cindy, by the way, you can second it.
Oh, I second it. Could I have a roll call?
Commissioner Meline.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler.
Yes.
Commissioner Baloo.
If I must, yes.
Okay, commissioners' comments. Mr. Baloo?
Yes, I would like to once again thank the staff for a wonderful evening at the Beer Fest. It was very well done, nice selection of beverages. Also like to thank the Lions Club for their contributions. There were many of them pouring over there, some very good pours. So, but a nice event. I didn't hear the final numbers, so I wasn't sure how many people actually came.
175 to 180.
It was a nice crowd.
Yep.
Everyone seemed to have a good time, so nice event. Very good. Thank you.
No, I'm good. Thank you to the staff for, I hear you've been putting in a little extra effort for the move, so thank you.
A little.
Mr. Robbins?
Nothing tonight.
I'll just add, again, a lot of work on this place. I'm sure there's a lot of work in moving everything. The place looks great. I think functioning, it's gonna function much better. And excited to have the public come and see it. And we have a closed session. So I need a motion to go into closed session.
Should read
Oh,
the.
under 2C21 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act for the purpose of discussing the semi-annual review, approval, and/or release of closed sessions, minutes, and destruction of audio tapes. Could I get a motion to go into the closed session for the to read it again, semi-annual review, approval, and/or release of closed sessions, minutes, and destruction of audio tapes pursuant to section 2C21 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
A roll call?
Commissioner Meline?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Blue?
Yes.
So we're gonna just adjourn to my office for this closed session.
Okay.